I was literally about to leave the beach. Hungry, tired, sunburned. Then two strangers decided to treat me like I didn't belong there. And just like that, my relaxing afternoon turned into a silent battle of patience. Because sometimes revenge isn't about shouting. Sometimes it's about staying exactly where you are until karma shows up, carried by the wind. If you love petty revenge stories where rude people get humbled in the most unexpected ways, hit like, subscribe, and stay till the end. And tell me, have you ever had your peaceful day ruined by entitled strangers? Because this story proves, respect costs nothing, but disrespect can cost your entire afternoon. My name is Ryan. I'm 25, and this happened during a solo trip to Algarve, Portugal. The kind of trip where you go to clear your mind, reset, read books, swim in the ocean, pretend life isn't constantly sending you emails. That day the heat was brutal, not the nice vacation warmth, the heavy, suffocating kind that presses down on your shoulders. Shade became more valuable than gold. Most of the beach was wide open, endless sand glowing under the sun, but sitting out there felt like slow roasting. After walking for what felt like forever, I finally spotted salvation. 3 scattered palm trees near the edge of a resort boundary. Under 2 of them sat deck chairs, clearly placed by the nearby hotel. Now I'm not a jerk. I knew better than to sit on private chairs. But the beach itself? Public. So I laid my towel down beside one, close enough to catch the shade, far enough to not interfere. Perfect balance. For the next hour, life was peaceful. I swam. I read a few chapters. Listened to waves collapsing gently onto the shore. Tourists laughing in the distance. Wind brushing salt across my skin. It felt like the reset I desperately needed. Then my backpack tipped over, spilling sand inside. Annoying. Without thinking too much, I lifted it onto one empty chair while I shook my towel clean. That's when everything changed. A shadow fell over me. I looked up. An older man, late 60s maybe, staring like I had personally insulted his ancestors. He didn't greet me, didn't smile, just pointed aggressively at the chair and muttered something under his breath. I removed my bag immediately and apologized. Even though his tone felt hostile, he continued grumbling, moving the chair around dramatically, making sure I understood I had committed some kind of unforgivable beach crime. I tried to ignore it. Open my book again, focus on the words. Then his wife arrived, and suddenly the grumbling became a full performance. Thick European accents, sharp gestures, accusations flying. Whole beach, you sit here? Now here's the thing. If they had simply asked politely, I would have moved without hesitation. No ego, no issue, but disrespect has a way of planting roots. Calmly, I said, you can also sit anywhere. Wrong answer. Their frustration exploded. The man raised his voice. You are crazy. You put luggage on a white chair. My chair, on a public beach. Something inside me clicked. Not anger. Resolve. Because I realized this wasn't about space. It was about power. They wanted me to feel small, temporary, unwelcome. So I made a decision. I stayed. Not aggressively. Not provocatively. Just firmly. They eventually stomped into the sea, clearly expecting I'd leave. I watched them from a corner of my eye while pretending to read. Minutes turned into half an hour. They kept glancing back. Still there. Still calm. Still unmoved. Hunger gnawed at my stomach. I had planned to leave. Find lunch. Explore town. But now, this had become principle. Eventually, the man returned. He began rearranging chairs around me like building a fortress. At one point, he even hovered a chair over my head, as if testing my patience. I didn't react. Then he escalated, walking deliberately across my towel, kicking sand onto my legs, tiny grains stinging against sunburned skin. I finally spoke. Kind of you. I thought age teaches manners. His face tightened, but he said nothing. Another silent victory. His wife remained in the water. So long she looked like a shriveled raisin trying to avoid me. And honestly, the absurdity of the situation started to amuse me. 2 grown adults emotionally hostage to a stranger reading a book. After nearly another half hour, I decided I had enjoyed the social experiment enough. Time for the finale. I stood slowly, packed my bag carefully, took my time, let anticipation build. Then I grabbed my towel. With one wide, dramatic flick, I sent a wave of hot sand straight onto him. He erupted instantly, face red, eyes wide, outrage beyond logic. I smiled calmly. Same sand you kicked at me. He lunged forward, grabbing a handful to throw back. But he hadn't considered the wind. Nature chose sides that day. The entire cloud blew directly into his own face. Perfect, poetic, unavoidable. I wished him a wonderful afternoon and walked away laughing internally. Behind me, I heard distant shouting. Idiot! Idiot! I waved at his wife, still floating defensively in the ocean, and finally went to get lunch. Some revenge isn't about hurting people. It's about refusing to shrink, refusing to be pushed out of spaces you have every right to occupy. And sometimes karma doesn't need planning. Sometimes it just needs good timing and favorable wind. If this story made you smile or reminded you of a moment you stood your ground, hit like, subscribe, and share it. And tell me, would you have stayed or just walked away? Because peaceful days are easy. Standing your ground, that takes patience.